in the studios in sunny Southern California. This is the Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition. Your host, Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming.
Hey folks, what's going on? This is your host, Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming, coming to you once again with another episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition 2025 for week number 8. Yes, we're just about halfway through the NFL season here, and there are certain teams are being dominant or showing their dominance so far, so good. And of course, we still got some lackluster teams out there. They're trying to make their strides to try to salvage their season. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this picks for week number 8. We're going to go ahead with our stats. We were 11-2 last week for week number 7 with 85% for last weekend's games. Overall, we're 41-15. And that's a winning percentage of 73%. So far, we're doing pretty good so far. And I hope we continue with this trend. And also, I want to give an early happy Halloween to all those who are out trick-or-treating this Friday night, or those who believe in doing trick-or-treating and all that good stuff. Make sure your kids be safe out there. Make sure you check your candy. Make sure you check the neighborhood. Make sure it's safe. Make sure you be aware of your surroundings. Make sure there ain't no criminals, perverts, or whatever hanging around trick-or-treating, because there's a lot of kids out there. And the parents, make sure you keep an eye on your kids. Make sure you check their candies. Take their candy to the local police department and have them x-rayed and examined. Make sure there's no needles, razors, drugs, or anything that could harm our children out there. And also for those who are not into Halloween or trick-or-treating, like I said, I know there's certain churches out there, local churches in your area might have, trunk or treat. Make sure you enjoy yourself and have fun with that as well. And then, of course, if you're Catholic or some other religion or denomination that believes in All Saints Day, have fun with that. And also, if you're into Halloween parties, same thing. Be careful out there, folks, and enjoy yourselves. Because I know some of you out there buying your last-minute candy for trick-or-treating and also trying to find your nice little Halloween costume. All right, now let's get this ball rolling, shall we? Like I say, our first pick of the week, we have the Atlanta Falcons at 3-3. They're hosting the hapless Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish, out of Miami-Dade County. Also, I want to give a special shout out to my cousin Keith Woodbury as he celebrated his 58th birthday. Happy birthday, Keith! As well as all my other family members down there in Miami, and my aunts and my uncles. Well, I don't have any uncles live down there now, but all my cousins and cousins I haven't met yet, and some I haven't seen in 20, 30, 40 plus years. So I want to say hello to them because I know they're diehard Dolphins fans, all that good stuff. Like I said, the Falcons, they lost a heartbreaker to the 49ers on Sunday Night Football last Sunday. And right now they're hosting the Dolphins. The Dolphins are struggling right now. The quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, I guess that's how you pronounce it. He called out, his team and everything, and it created a lot of backlash. And right now they're sitting at 1-6. Right now the odds makers got the Falcons at a -7 with an over and under 45. And we're going to go with the Falcons. Hopefully they should have no problem beating the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish, today in Atlanta. Also, our next pick, we have the winless Jets at 0-7. Hopefully to try to get their first win of the season as they travel to Cincinnati, Ohio, the Queen City on the Ohio River, to take on the Cincinnati Bengals, a.k.a. the Bungles, at 3-4. Like I said, of course, their starting quarterback, Jim Burrow, a.k.a. Joe Cool. He's been injured most of this season. We don't know how soon he'll be back. Hopefully he'll get better. And hopefully we'll be able to see him before the end of this regular season if they're lucky to make a playoff run. Right now, they got Joe Flacco as starting quarterback, who they had just acquired 2 weeks ago from the Cleveland Browns. Right now, the odds makers got the Cincinnati Bengals at a minus 6.5 with an over and under of 44.5. And who are we to go against the odds makers? So we're going to go with the Bengals to continue the Jets' misery and make them undefeated. So we're going with the Bengals on this one, folks. And of course, their starting quarterback, Justin Fields, has been getting blasted because of his struggles. He was originally drafted by the Chicago Bears. The Bears! And then he struggled. Then they let him go. And then he spent a year in Pittsburgh as a starting quarterback. He struggled there as well. So they let him go. So he ended up in New York with the Jets, Jets, Jets. All right, our next pick, we have the 2-5 Cleveland Browns traveling to Foxborough, Massachusetts at Gillette Stadium to take on the surging 5-2 New England Patriots and Drake May and company. It seems like finally the Patriots finally starting to turn things around. It seems like there is life after Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and all those Super Bowls they won over the last 25 years. So right now the odds makers got the Patriots at a minus 7 with an over and under of 40.5. So who are we to go against the odds makers also as well? So we're going to go with the Patriots and Drake May to win this game over the Cleveland Browns. And of course, Cleveland Brown, they're starting Dylan Gabriel, their draft pick from the University of Oregon and formerly the University of Oklahoma. All right. Our next pick, we have a key NFC match where we have the 2-5 New York Giants, aka the Midgets, as they take on the defending Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field, a.k.a. the Link. Like I said, they started off the season a little bit rocky, but they've finally getting their act together. They had a 2-game losing streak, and then now they're back on track again. Right now, the Eagles are a minus 7-point favorite with an over and under 43.5. Who are we to go against Jalen Hurts and company and Jalen Carter? And also Jordan Davis, a couple of former University of Georgia Bulldog defensive players, won a couple of national championships with Georgia a couple of years ago. So we're going to go with the Giants. With the Eagles over the New York Giants, a.k.a. Midgets, with Jackson Dart and company. All right. Our next pick, we have the Buffalo Bills after coming off that loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football almost 2 weeks ago at 4-2 as they traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City in western North Carolina, to take on the Carolina Pathetic Panthers at 4-3. Right now, they're saying Bryce Young, he got injured in last week's game, and he expected to miss this week's game. And right now, the odds makers got the Buffalo Bills at a minus 7.5-point favorite, I believe. Yeah, 7.5 points with the over and under 45.5. And we're going to go with the Buffalo Bills to get an easy win over the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Pathetic Panthers, that is. All right, our next pick, we have the Chicago Bears. The Bears! With Caleb Williams and company at 4-3. They're doing pretty good for a change of pace because I know they've been struggling for years. With Mitch Trubisky, who they drafted many years ago, and then they let him go. Then, like I mentioned just a minute ago, they drafted Justin Fields out of Ohio State. He struggled for a couple of years. And now they got Caleb Williams, first overall pick from 2 years ago from USC, formerly also University of Oklahoma as well, too. So they finally start turning things around there in the Windy City, the city of big shoulders. It's a lovely city. I love their pizzas, the Chicago-style pizzas. If you're ever in Chicago, please, by all means, check out Lou Minolti's. I just gave them a free plug there. Lou Minolti's Pizza. They're a very good pizza. I've been there over a decade ago when I had a family member graduated from Navy boot camp at Great Lakes, north of Chicago. It's lovely. It's a lovely pizza place. Please check it out. But getting back at the picks at hand, They're traveling to Baltimore in the Inner Harbor, Maryland, as they try out some of that Maryland crab cakes as they take on the woeful 1-5 Baltimore Ravens. And of course, the quarterback Lamar Jackson, is still out with a hamstring injury. So right now, the odds makers got Baltimore at -6.5 point favorite with an over and under of 50. But given the way the the Bears, been playing lately, we're going to go with the Chicago Bears on this one against the Baltimore Ravens. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition 2025 for week number 8 here on Big Flim Radio and TV.
Flim Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at nhtsa.org. Gnarly, dude. This is Jess Spicoli. When I'm out hanging 10, catching the waves, checking out the chicks, and skipping Mr. Hand's class, I'm listening to Big Flim Radio and TV. Oh.
Welcome back. Folks, as you may know, Big Flim Radio and TV is a podcast channel dedicated to music, talk, current events, politics, all things that are happening today in the world, and also sports. Right now we're doing mainly college and NFL football. We might talk a little bit about the current World Series for Major League Baseball and start full next baseball season in April. Of course, right now it's tied between the Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. They're tied 1-1. Game 3 will be tomorrow night, Monday, in Dodger Stadium. They're at Chavez Ravine, north of downtown LA. So if you're in the LA area, by all means, if you got the money, please check out the World Series game there at Dodger Stadium for Game 3. Ohtani will be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. So they might get lucky and win 2 in a row. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about here. And we also do music. I think I mentioned that. And also veterans issues and information for our veterans and current service members. And also we have a very nice online store where we have some Big Flim theme merchandise, Big Flim Radio and TV theme merchandise or merch, especially with the holiday season coming up, the Christmas holiday season, that is. If you want to buy that special gift for special someone, family member, loved one, friend, co-worker, stranger, a good care package for deployed or mobilized service member, or for an alien from Mars or from somewhere out in the distant universe. And please check out our website at www.bigflimradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflimradiotv.com. That's BIGFLEMRADIO TV, all one word. And also, if you want to be a guest picker for Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition, as well as the College Football Edition, or if you have your own picks that you want us to broadcast, if you want to be a guest DJ for one of our music channels, or if you want to send a dedication to someone, if you want to be a guest on our talk show, or if you're a veteran that has some information that you want to pass on to federal veterans and service members, and if there's someone who needs someone to talk to, we're a listening ear. And like I say, if you have any comments or suggestions, positive suggestions on how we can do better at Big Flim Radio and TV, if you got any ideas that how we can make our podcast channel better and more enjoyable for you, the listening and viewing audience, or if you just have something to say, by all means, please reach out to us. And also, if you're a business or a corporation who are interested in marketing with us, if you want to market your business and your service, your products and your service, and you want to make a commercial to advertise on Big Flim Radio and TV podcast channel, or if you want to sponsor one of our podcast shows, please, by all means, reach out to us. We would like to, partner with you, have a partnership in promoting your products and your service. Please reach out to us at bigflimradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflimradiotv@gmail.com. Also, we're on the social media platform. We have a Facebook group page entitled Big Flim Radio and TV. There you can find the links for all the podcast episodes that we do, as well as, we talk about celebrity deaths and anything interested in the world of Hollywood and music and movies. You can check those out as well. And also, please like us, be a part of Big Flim Radio and TV on Facebook group. Check it out. And also, we are on Instagram at big_flim, FLEM as in Mike, _radio. And also, we are on X, formerly known as Twitter. Find us on the handle at flim_radio. Again, that's at flim or hashtag flim, FLEM as in Mike, _radio, RADIO. And also, we have a YouTube channel where you will see videos like this of our podcast shows that we record. And also, you'll find some archival footage of our previous podcast shows that we've done over the years, as well as some videos that I posted on there as far as my travels, my adventures, and things that interest me that I would like to share with other viewers. You will find that. Just type in Big Flim Radio TV, or you can just type in Big Flim Radio TV 9011 on YouTube, and you can find our channel. Please like and subscribe to our channel. That way we can make more videos and increase our fan base as well. All right, folks, now let's get back to our picks for week number 8, shall we? All right, our next pick, we have the 49ers at 5-2, coming off the win over the Atlanta Falcons, aka the Pigeons, for last Sunday Night Football, as they travel to Texas, Houston, that is, and there is no problem there, as they take on the 2-4 Houston Texans. Right now, the odds makers got the Texans at a -1.5 points with over and under 41.5, I believe it is. But the way the 49ers have been playing, we will go with the 49ers over the Texans. All right, our next pick that we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a.k.a. the Succaneers, at 5-2. This is a key NFC South matchup as they travel to New Orleans, the Crescent City, Louisiana, to take on the hapless, horrible 1-6 New Orleans Saints, the Aints, the Who Dats, so what's, and all that good stuff. Right now, the odds makers got Tampa Bay at a -4-point favorite with an over and under of 47. We're going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a.k.a. the Succaneers, with Baker Mayfield and company, as they trounce the New Orleans Saints, the Aints, and the Who Dats. Maybe they'll pull out their bags and put it over their heads again. All right, our next pick, we have the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. the Cowpokes, from Big D, at 3-1 as they travel to the Mile House City of Denver, Colorado, to take on the streaking 5-2 Denver Broncos. Like I said, I hope you saw last week's game against the Giants, where they were down, 23-0 or 17-0, and Denver scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history during the regular season. And they really showed their grit against the Giants last week. And I know there was a heartbreaking loss for the New York Giants where they had a big lead on them and they almost had them shut out. So they really impressed me. Bo Nix and company from Oregon, and then formerly of Auburn Tigers, a.k.a. the Kittens. Right now, the odds makers got the Broncos at a 3-point favorite with an over and under of 50.5. And I'm going to stick with the Broncos, especially the way they played last week, coming from behind, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter. So we're going to go with the Denver Broncos over the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. the Cowpokes. All right, our next pick, we have the woeful Tennessee Titans from Nashville, Music City, USA, folks, at 1-6 as they travel to Indianapolis to take on the surging 6-1 Indianapolis Colts. This is a key AFC South matchup. And of course, you know Daniel Jones. He was a former draft pick for the New York Giants, spent several years there, and they got tired of him, so they let him go, and he ended up in Indianapolis. And then now he finally got his stride going there in Indianapolis, turning the franchise around after they got rid of Anthony Richardson, or I think he got hurt. Right now, the odds makers got the Indianapolis Colts at minus 14-point favorite with the over and under 47. Who are we to disagree with the odds makers? And we're going to go with the Indianapolis Colts in a blowout over the Tennessee Titans. All right, our next pick, this will be considered like a reunion game of sorts, as the 4-1-1 Green Bay Packers from the frozen tundra of Green Bay, of Lambeau Field, as they travel to Pittsburgh, Steel City, Western Pennsylvania, as they take on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers at 4-2. As you may know, Aaron Rodgers played for the Green Bay Packers and won a Super Bowl with them with their former coach, Mike McCarthy. And when he sat behind Brett Favre, and then years later, you had Jordan Love, the current quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, sat behind Aaron Rodgers after he got drafted. And he had a rocky start, but he finally got his footing there in Green Bay, got them in the playoffs last year. Got a nice playoff run. Maybe we'll see if they can extend their playoff run this season. And it will be an interesting matchup for Sunday Night Football tonight. Right now, the odds makers got the Packers at a -3 with an over and under 44.5. But being sentimental to Aaron Rodgers, being 41 years old, we're going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Green Bay Packers in a close game for Aaron Rodgers in his reunion game with his former team, the Green Bay Packers. And for our Monday night matchup, we have the 3-4 Washington Commanders. And of course, their quarterback, Jaden Daniels, he's still out with I think it's a hamstring injury that he has, so he's out of the game. As they travel to Kansas City, KC Mo, and that wonderful barbecue there they have as they take on the defending AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs at 4-3, with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid and company. And you can throw in Taylor Swift as well. Like I said, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs started off the season 0-2, or at the time they had a 3-game losing streak going back to the Super Bowl. And then they finally won their first game, and then they lost another game. And then they've been on a winning streak, a 3-game winning streak now. So right now they finally getting their stride, and they got some of their key players back from injury as well. Right now the odds makers got the Chiefs at a -10.5-point favorite with an over and under 47.5. Who are we to disagree with the odds makers, especially with the Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels out not playing because of injury? We're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs in this matchup here on Monday Night Football. All right, we're going to go over our teams that have a bye week this weekend. You got the Arizona Cardinals at 2-5. Then you got the Detroit Lions at 5-2. They're close to the top of the NFC North division. Then you got Jacksonville Jaguars at 4-3. I believe they're in second place in the AFC South. Then you got the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-5 in the AFC West. And then you got the Rams are near the top or tied for first place in the NFC West at 5-2, along with the Seahawks at 5-2. All right. Okie dokie, folks. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And we'll be right back to wrap up another episode of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition 2025 for week number 8 here on Big Flim Radio and TV.
Hi, I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flim Radio and TV.
Get ready. You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.
Hey folks, welcome back. Let's do our recap of week number 8 of the NFL season for Big Flim's Pigskin Picks, shall we? We pick the Atlanta Falcons over the Miami Dolphins, aka the Tuna Fish. And again, I want to send a special happy birthday shout out to my cousin Keith Woodbury, along with his wife Andrea, as well as all my other relatives there in Miami-Dade County and Broward County as well. Also, we pick the Cincinnati Bengals, aka the Bungles, over the Jets, Jets, Jets. We picked the New England Patriots over the Cleveland Browns. We picked the defending Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, over the New York Giants, aka the Midgets. I want to also send a special hi to a former Army battle buddy of mine, Dana Donardell, living in the New York area. He's a retired Army. We served together. We were stationed together in Germany in the early mid-2000s, and also we deployed together on our first deployment to Iraq, 2004, 2005, OIF-2. And he's a diehard Giants fan, aka Midgets fan. We picked the Bills or the Carolina Pathetic Panthers. We picked the Chicago Bears, the Bears, over the Baltimore Ravens. We picked the 49ers over the Texans. We picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, aka the Succaneers, over the Saints, the Hoodats, the Aints. We picked the Broncos over the Cowboys, aka the Cowpokes. We picked the Indianapolis Colts over the Tennessee Titans. For our Sunday night matchup, we picked the Steelers over the Packers in a, you want to call it, a reunion game for Aaron Rodgers as he played his former team. And for our Monday night matchup, we picked the defending AFC champion, the Kansas City Chiefs, over the Washington Commanders. And as I mentioned, I've already mentioned the teams that had a bye week, and they need that week off to regroup, revitalize, and some of those teams that are still struggling, hopefully they can fix what they need to fix during the bye week. We got the 2-5 Arizona Cardinals, the 5-2 Detroit Lions, the 4-3 Jacksonville Jaguars, the 2-5 Las Vegas Raiders, the 5-2 LA Rams, as well as the Seattle Seahawks, 5-2. All right, folks. Hopefully our predictions will be a little bit better, and our percentages will be great. So that just about does it, folks. And also, I want to give a special shout out to one of our sponsors. His name is Sergeant Jonathan Guillen. He has a clothing line called Phenomenal. Like I said, whenever you get a chance, please check it out. Like I said, it's Phenomenal. It's P. You can find him on Instagram with P as in Paul, H as in Hotel, N as in Nancy, M as in Mike, L_CO. Like I said, again, you find it on Instagram. Type in P as in Paul, H as in Hotel, N as in Nancy, M as in Mike, L_CO. And like I say, we'll post an image on the video where you can take the screenshot of the QR code where you can find his clothing line and check it out and tell him that Big Flim Radio TV sent you. All right. Again, like I say, for those folks this coming week, have a happy and safe Halloween. For all you kiddos out there, make sure you be careful out there. Family members, make sure you keep an eye on your kids. Make sure you go with them safely as they go out trick-or-treating throughout your neighborhoods. And be careful, be aware of your surroundings. Also, check your kids' candies. Once they do trick-or-treating, make sure that nobody ain't tamper with them. No put no drugs or needles, razors, or whatever that could harm our children out there. Because the children are our future. And also tune in again next week for another edition of Big Flim's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 9. And also check out Big Flim's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition 2025 for week number 10. Because like I said, there'll be some key matchups this coming Saturday for college football. And also check out Game 3 of the World Series between the LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays at Dodger Stadium, where Ohtani will be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. I don't know who's the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays. So if you're in the LA area, please check them out. And also, again, please check out our website at www.bigflimradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflimradiotv.com. And also, you can email us at bigflimradiotv@gmail.com. All right, folks, you guys take care. Enjoy your evening. Be safe. God bless and peace. From your host, Lorenzo Big Flim Fleming. Take care. Bye now.
We're Big Flim Radio and TV.